Seed Reacts here, and we're back with another video. Today we're watching, it's an older video, it's from Good Morning Britain, and it's about John Cleese. He's a British comedian actor. He's done shows like 40 Towers, movies. He's done Monty Python, Life of Brian, Rat Race, and films like that. He's hilarious. He's one of my favourite comedians. I love him. And to be honest, I would never hate the guy because he's a big idol for me, a big role model. Because I've done things like acting and stuff, and he's been very inspirational to me. Now, he got criticised for saying that London is no longer an English city or something like that. And they debated about it on Good Morning Britain, so we're going to have a watch. Okay, let's have a look. It was also very funny. It was also very funny about this. As I can see, no one on the panel is white. I find that quite funny.
Objection to it, Shola. Obviously, lots of people saying, you know, it was racist, even though he didn't say London is no longer white. When he said London is no longer English, people are reading into that he meant it's not white enough.
All right, let me first of all start by saying that with age should come wisdom, but clearly with John Cleese, it passed him by.
What?
The bottom line is this. Referring to UK cities or London as non-English is a key point here. Britishness is not determined by the color of our skin. I am British. I'm not less British than John Cleese because I'm black.
Wait. You got it twisted, I think. He just said London's not an English city anymore. Okay. He didn't say being English is determined by the colour of your skin. That would be incredibly racist. Which is not. I'm English. I'm born here. You know what I mean? Like, my dad was white. My dad's a white man. She's crazy. I don't like this woman anyway. She really does.
It's not segregation.
Yeah.
It's all about integration. It's not exclusion. It's about inclusion. And what is it about Britishness that is not represented in any of our UK cities? Is it our government institutions? Is it our love of football? Is it the food or the royal family? All of that is celebrated. So how are we not English? So by referring to it as not English, you have to ask him, what do you mean by not English?
Well, he does go on to clarify, and just to say at the end of it, he was making a point about Brexit, wasn't he? Because he's a Brexiteer, and at the end of it, he said, it's also worth noting that London was one of the most Remain places, i.e.
But what he's suggesting is not a very English thing to do.
Well, he went on to say, didn't he? He went against some of the criticism, and he said actually it's not about racism, it's about culturalism, and he said that it's not as polite as it was, humorous, it's not as friendly as it was, those sorts of things.
That is such nonsense. This is a man who...
It's not nonsense. I totally agree with John Cleese, actually, in that sense. Maybe I don't agree with the Brexit thing, maybe, you know what I mean? We can all differ on that, but John Cleese is not a dumb person. John Cleese is a very intellectual person, so were a lot of Monty Python. Okay, they all went to places like Oxford, Cambridge, and places like this. They are highly intelligent men. So are most comedians. They are highly intelligent people. And he's not making a dumb racist comment, because John Cleese is not that dumb to do that.
Who left the UK because it's full of foreigners and moved to a foreign country. To become an immigrant, please. Let's not take him seriously.
What's your view?
Well, that particular point is a bit difficult to defend, I agree. But I think in terms of the racism issue, I don't see how this has anything to do with race. Look at the England football teams full of black players. No one would question their Englishness, right? They're English. About race, what he's talking about, I think, is that look at London. 42% of people who live in London are, like me, foreign-born, right? Yeah. So there's a very significant immigrant population in London. Obviously, if you have half of a city, essentially, that are people who are first-generation immigrants, that is going to make it less of the local culture. No, it's just the fact of life, isn't it?
No, the fact of that is, and you're absolutely right, but the fact of that is that the city has changed. That's fine. It's changed. But to say it's become less English is ridiculous. Either it's a stupid comment,
so let me give you an example. Well, no, it's not. Well, first of all, it's not race, but look at this. Look at it like this: if 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish, would we be okay to say that it's less English than it was when it was 10%?
We would say it is British.
I'm sorry, mic drop. Fucking mic drop that shit, fam. Bro, that guy, whoever that presenter was, that's like getting a slap around the face, bro. Shut up. Shut up. Let's hear that again. Raw.
Look at this. Look at it like this: if 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish, would we be okay to say that it's less English than it was when it was 10%?
We would say it is
that be
British.
okay? Well, no, but answer the question. Would it be okay or not?
Would it be okay? I'm trying to get my head around that.
If 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish,
yes,
would it be okay to say that London has become less English than it was when 10% of the people who lived in London were Scottish?
Well, if they were Scottish, yeah.
Right. So what's the difference?
But
there's no difference. It's talking about immigrants. It's talking about immigrants.
But
there's nothing to do with race.
See, and that's such a beautiful way of explaining it, I think. And I think he's a comedian as well. They put it in such a beautiful, simple manner. These people don't understand it because they're so fixed on their point, on the racism thing. Get off the racism thing. It's not about race, okay? It's about immigration, as he's just explained. And that's a wonderful explanation, my friend.
Do you not consider yourself as English?
No.
Why is that?
Because I'm British. I'm a British.
So when you go
person.
to Scotland, if you go to Scotland, so where have you come from? What do you say?
Well, I'd say I live in London. I'm originally from Russia.
But why can't you say I'm from England?
It's because I'm not from England. I wasn't born. No, I'm not. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up here. I came here when
you're in Scotland and you're on the road and there's an arrow pointed towards England, do you not go that direction because that's where you're from, England? So why can't you? I'm not from England.
I wasn't born.
What the fuck? This guy is an idiot.
I came here when
you're in Scotland and you're on the road and there's an arrow pointed towards England, do you not go that direction because that's where you're from, England? So why can't you?
I'm not from England. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up here. But you just said you're from.
Bro, get this. If this presenter was not sacked after this, or, you know what I mean, like, if they did not be like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're a deluded idiot. When you're in Scotland and it says there's an arrow pointed towards England, you don't go that way because you're from there. He just said he's born in Russia, he moved to England, and he lives in London, okay? When he goes to other places and they ask him where he's from, he will say, I currently live in England, London right now, but I'm Russian. I'm born in Russia. You're a fucking idiot. Look at him. Look at him.
Are you from London?
No.
But where are you?
So I live in London. Right. I live just outside of London, in fact.
Right, let's go back.
England. So why
I'm not
can't
from England. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up here.
But you just said you're from. Are you from London?
No.
But where are you?
So I live in London. Right. I live just outside of London, in fact. Right. But I'm originally. It's complicated.
Right.
People can have.
You're making it complicated.
You're making it complicated. Let me just. Sorry. Let me just make this one point. Let me make this one point.
I am British. I was born here. So if he does not self-identify as British, you're not.
No, I'm British, but I'm not English.
But
That's
he
the difference.
is
Let's just
not
bring in Monty
identified.
here. What do you make of it? Because you've got an interesting view on. This is a nostalgic tweet.
You know what? I like this
and
guy. He's very quiet. He's very peaceful. You can tell when he's going to speak. Let him say it. Don't interrupt this man, please, because he's been very peaceful.
Not an inherently racist one.
Yeah, I don't think it's a racist tweet. I think he's talking about his childhood days, you know, in the 40s, 30s, 40s, 60s, you know.
Yeah, when he was younger, yeah.
Yeah, younger days, how England was, and how England has changed to now.
But he doesn't like the change.
But hang on, he hasn't said change.
But it's all right.
I'm sorry. That's fine.
Can we go back?
But it hasn't become less English.
Yeah, it has.
No, can we please go back hundreds of years?
Wow, wait.
To now.
But he doesn't like the change.
But hang on, he hasn't said changed.
But it's a fact, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Can we go back?
But it hasn't become less English.
Can we please go back hundreds of years to, I don't know, the Vikings coming, to, I don't know, shipping black people during the slave trade. I don't know, during the time the British Empire colonized other countries. It has not been pure English white skin.
But no one's talking about being white. You've made it about race.
No.
He didn't say anything.
Can I just say,
he didn't say anything about race.
Let me just hang on.
He did not say he was talking about English.
Let me say exactly what he said in his second tweet. So he made this first one and then
She's so annoying. Like this black lady, she comes back with the whole race slave trade thing. That card, it's because when you play that card, you know what I mean, it's hard that people find it hard to get back on. And he's saying he's talking about English. He's not talking about race. So what is she on about? What I don't get it. Why she always jumps on this fucking racism.
And then he
boat,
said,
like,
I suspect I should apologise for my affection for the Englishness of my upbringing, but in some ways, I found it calmer, more polite, more humorous, less tabloid and less money-oriented than the one that is replacing it. Now, the thing is, if you... I'm not a Londoner, I'm from the Northwest. But people will say, you know, all the money that has driven up prices in London, that means people can't live in London anymore, even if they want to, is because there's Russian money here, there's Arab money here, it's the foreign investment in London.
On behalf of all Russians, I'm deeply offended by this. Deeply offended.
No. what I'm saying is
he's targeting the immigrants. Even with his explanation, he's targeting people. He's saying that you are not English. All of us have been here way longer before John Cleese. Of course, he's talking about English people.
But you could make those
talking about people. He's not talking about values. He's not talking about culture. He's talking about people, and that means it's got racist connotations.
Didn't say anything about
bigoted. Of course, he did.
He said that the city has become less English.
The other description.
I just think
it's not as polite. I'm sorry. So immigrants are not polite. What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
I think you could probably say it's about lots of cosmopolitan cities in Britain and across the world. That's the only thing. I don't know why. So
you're making my point for me. Is we have lots of immigrants. So he's not racist, just a very naughty boy.
Well, that's very good.
He's great. The Russian guy is amazing, I think. I need to look at more stuff about him because he's very intellectual and very on the ball. Other than that, I totally agree with him 100% because I don't believe John Cleese is being racist at all. I don't think John Cleese is racist. I think John Cleese is quite logical, actually, and he was talking about the city. He said the tweet had nothing to do with people. It had nothing to do with race, especially. So, listen, let's see what you guys have to say about it as well. If anyone watches this, please comment what your opinions are, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more, then tell me. Peace!